Breeders' Cup is kind of like the Olympics at the end of the year.
You responded to my WhatsApp message at 3:35. You love quizzes, don't you, Aidan? You love them.
Love.
You absolutely die for a quiz.
A lot of the times, those type of horses disappoint.
Oh, hold on. You can't tease me like that, Aidan.
No. I thought this was going to be an easy interview.
Welcome to the home of racing royalty. Yes, it's episode 2 on the road to Del Mar, Breeders' Cup 2025. And we are the esteemed guests of Aidan O'Brien, superstar racehorse trainer. So I'm Matt Chapman and we're visiting Ballydoyle and Coolmore. It's incredible to think that it's at these pastures that some of the greatest horses on the planet have been born and raised over the years. And when you're here, it's serene, it's beautiful. And if you actually think about moving forward, that juxtaposition between this, nothing, and the roar and the atmosphere and the excitement, those stalls crashing open during Breeders' Cup races. And when it comes to action at the Breeders' Cup, the Supremo is Aidan O'Brien. In 2024, Henri Matisse and Lake Victoria in the juvenile races increased his tally to 20, making him the joint leading trainer at the Breeders' Cup. But, not another challenge, Shappers. Can't anyone think of something a little bit better than this? Anyway, let's see who this is from. Oh, Brittany. A little bit of a love letter. Dearest Matt, so pleased to see you made it to Ireland safely. I did, Brittany, although I was stuck on the runway for 3.5 hours. Right, bit of Mission Impossible. Right, almost impossible to film in the trophy room at Coolmore for all that people can go there. But if anyone can get a look in, it's you. Your challenge, find all 20 Breeders' Cup trophies. Good luck, don't get yourself in any trouble. Well, trouble's my middle name, Brittany. Okay, I think I can do that. I mean, it's a trophy room with trophies in it, and I'll just sneak in, film and go home. Right, enough of this challenge nonsense. Let's start the show. Let's get in the mind of Aidan O'Brien.
First section is inside the mind of you as a trainer. We're setting up.
This won't take long.
I thought this was going to be an easy interview.
This won't take long.
I thought this was going to be an easy interview.
So Aidan, what everyone wants to know is how you tick. What's going on in this thing? Because we know there's a lot. Let's just start with in the morning. You're in the Jeep, you're looking at the horses. What are you actually looking for?
I suppose really it's all about the people who are riding the horses, the people that are looking after the horses, the people who are in charge of the yards. Really what I do every day is observe and then talk to the people. If you knew somebody from meeting them every day, the minute you'll meet them in the morning, you'll know whether they're in good form mentally, and then you'll know whether they're moving properly physically. So horses are the very same really, but it's all about the people really. So I will always talk to everybody as much as I can, and then connect everybody together, and then from the information flowing, you have a good chance of the right outcome. Morning, Kerry.
Morning, Ed.
How are you?
Good, Ed.
Good man. Nice morning, Kerry.
Yeah, it is.
Good man. Good morning, Adrian.
Morning, Ed.
How are you?
Good, Ed.
Good man, Adrian. Good man. Morning, Santar. How are you? Good man, Santar. Good man.
After the race, it's become the stuff of legend now, you reeling out the names. But is that because you feel so strongly that this is a team ethic and you want those people to know that they are part of this team?
Yeah, no, but the reality is they're the people who make it happen, and there's an awful lot of people around those people that are involved in every horse. Obviously, I don't get to mention all the names, but they're usually the people that are very closely, directly in contact with that horse at that time. But there's a big team around them that are working full-time with every horse. I don't mention, and I only say their first names because the people that who I'm speaking about understand, and their families understand who they are. So I would want everybody to know how grateful we are to them for making that happen, because obviously they see the sacrifices that everybody puts in, day out at home, where other people wouldn't see. So when those people's parents or grandparents or cousins or uncles or aunts, or that fathers or mothers are watching it, they know when I say the name, who the person is, and that we really appreciate everything they've done.
The Thursday of Royal Ascot, I sent you a WhatsApp message at 10:25 in the evening, which I apologise for. It was a bit late, but I was still quite excited by what you'd done that day. You responded to my WhatsApp message at 3:35 on Friday morning. What time do you usually get up, Aidan?
Yeah, no, I suppose Ascot I would get up kind of between 3 and half 3, and I would try and always be in bed before 11.
To do what? What would you do then?
Like I'd always kind of need 2.5 hours before starting time, but I'd have to do my exercise and...
Hold on, what's an Aidan O'Brien's exercise routine?
Yeah, no, well I would do kind of 3/4 an hour every morning when I get up first, because I've always had a very weak back, so I would have to keep that strong.
So Aidan O'Brien goes into the gym at 3?
Yeah, at kind of 3 or half 3, whatever the
Running?
time is.
Walking? Stretching?
No, yeah, all that kind of stuff, yeah, the usual kind of stuff, really, but I have to do that. And if I do that for the day, then I can walk through the day, and if I don't do it, my back would come back against me, and then I wouldn't be able to keep doing my job. So it's just a fact of life that I just have to do it. We're there all the time and we observe a lot, but everybody else does the work, and like they're the people that make it happen really, day in, day out, really.
Going back to working horses, how big are you? I mean, you've said it's feel and look. Technology,
yeah.
How much do you marry them together, or for you is it still your eye is more than technology?
Yeah, no, listen, obviously eye is vital. Information is always king in anything you do. So obviously I think anyone that's doing any exercise, all have Fitbits or Whoops now. Obviously you see their heart rate, you see how fit they are, you see what kind of a trip they're going to need, you see what kind of way they're going to move, and then obviously your eye and your gut then will tell you about temperament and all that. So it's very like to do with human beings, really. Information is always king, really.
And with the youngsters, people say you grade the horses, is that correct?
Yeah, well, obviously the lads here in Coolmore will grade them from the time they're foals. They'd be rated. They'd be all kind of rated from 1 to 10. 8 is a very, very good horse. The 7.5, 8 are top horses, really. And then when they come into us, they're rated kind of A, B and C's, or A, B and C's, and 1+, 2+, 3+ A's. So, and that goes all the way up to, like obviously a 3+ is a Group 1 horse, a 2+ is a group horse, 1+ is a listed horse, and A is a maiden. So they are being rated all the time, every week. And obviously that information then would be supplied, the lads would get that information. So they'd be on top of everything, really.
And some of us who develop into superstars
100%.
didn't come from anything. We want to bring you some of the highlights from Glorious Goodwood. You love quizzes, don't you, Aidan? You love them.
Love them.
You absolutely die for a quiz.
Absolutely.
Do you know the leading trainer of the Sussex Stakes at Glorious Goodwood?
No.
Sir Henry Cecil, who won 7 of them.
God, there you
Do you know who's won 6?
No.
Aidan O'Brien, sat right next to me right now. Would you like to name any of your 6 Sussex Stakes winners?
I can't remember yesterday.
You didn't win it yesterday, but you did win it a couple of years ago. Think a bear.
Bear.
Yeah, like marmalade sandwiches.
Oh, Paddington.
Yes.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Next one, went to war and fought the really good soldiers.
No, that must
the
be a couple of years ago.
Gurkha.
Okay.
Okay. Rip Van
Don't go back any further.
Rip
man.
Van
I can't remember.
Winkle.
And they're in the game. They're off. Lady Iman and Dickensian inside the final furlong. These two go on, trying to battle back Argentine Tango. Rydell Frosty is running huge, but it is Lady Iman who is out in front and not for catching. It is Lady Iman in the Vulcan.
That's the best news of the day. Is apart from winning the race, it means that we're heading back to Del Mar, where we had a great result. Thanks, Ed. We're alive and kicking. We'll be there.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Racing over 1 mile in the Visit Qatar Sussex Stakes. It is Kirat who has got the lead. Rosalia now powering down the wide outside. Henri Matisse is running towards the inside. 100 yards to go. Kirat still has the lead, and it will be Kirat in a shot in the Sussex Stakes.
As we were legging up, I said to Richard, this horse could run really well today, but he could hang on in there for quite a long time. He's very well and he loves this place.
we go, and the flag is dropped, and Whirl gets away in front. It's Whirl from 𝙍𝙖𝙙, and Whirl all the way, leads by 2-3 legs, and she's actually drawing further away, and what a great filly this is, and Whirl wins the Nassau in fantastic style.
She's the heart of it, isn't she? She's the heart of it. She's the galaxy over Galileo Mirror, and she's the world's greatest woman master. So
if we were saying to you, you're going to the Breeders' Cup, what would you say?
Oh, I'd be delighted, wouldn't I? Yeah, it'd be a dream come true, wouldn't it? So she's a great little filly, yeah. She means everything to me.
Aidan, you love the Breeders' Cup. Yes. Was there an influence there that made you want to conquer that international scene? Yeah. Does that excite you, get you going?
Yeah, I think it has always. And obviously, the Breeders' Cup is kind of like the Olympics at the end of the year. It gives everybody a chance to rate horses against each other all over the world.
It's Tuesday on Breeders' Cup Saturday.
I think you have to go there and witness it to see it and feel it.
That string that we see of yours, I often call it the Aidan O'Brien army, and it comes past. You're used to it, but for us, as an observer, you just think, wow, like all these thoroughbreds, beautifully bred, all in a line, marching out onto the track. You first, I read, went to the Breeders' Cup in 1990. Do you remember that experience, and did you ever think at that day, do you think, I want to come back in here and conquer?
Yeah, not really. I purposely try not to think about too much happened yesterday, the day before, or whatever, because I always say it takes away from going forward. I would remember when things go wrong, and if we made mistakes with something, and if things work, I would remember it then. But the things that happen, either good on the day, I don't, because it's past tense and it's no good. And if I'm thinking about that, it's stopping us from going forward.
I want to go back to 2001. Johannesburg won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile on dirt.
Now we're ready for that start. And they're off.
Did that seem like it was simple to do then? Oh, it's a dirt race. We've won it straight away. First Breeders' Cup runner. We'll go and win the Classic for the next 10 years. Did that set the tone for wanting to get that Classic?
Well, I think always, every race, you don't ever try to pick any race, but as the races come up each year, you try and have horses to win them. Obviously, he was an exceptional 2-year-old.
Johannesburg has won it!
We kept him running much shorter than the race was on the day, and that's probably why he had the pace.
Never been past 6 furlongs. What made you think he could run this kind of race?
He was always a serious horse from day one, just pure natural ability, and the lads did a great job at home minding him, and that's all we really had to do, was to mind him and keep him well.
Sometimes it happens, and it happens right for you, and sometimes it doesn't, but you have to kind of keep tweaking things and changing things. It's very difficult for a horse to come from running on grass to go in and run straight on the dirt, but it's like everything, it's not impossible.
Just reflecting on August Rodin, he was just a bit of a machine, a monster. When he was good, he was very, very good.
Yeah, he was very natural, very good looking, great pedigree, beautiful mover. His movement made him different, and he was one of those horses from day one. He was different.
Ryan's ride on August Rodin was something a bit special.
Yeah, absolutely, but listen, we see Ryan do that a lot.
Most enough comes 4 wide, 𝙍𝙤𝙖𝙙 got through on the inside. A dream run for 𝙍𝙤𝙖𝙙 under a perfect ride from Ryan Moore, will win the Breeders' Cup Turf.
He came with a very high rating from Coolmore, but usually, a lot of the times, those type of horses disappoint, but he never did from the time he ran his maiden.
St Nicholas Abbey we've talked to you about before, but that will be the moment, surely, that you're in your life, if someone said to you, what a day, to win the Breeders' Cup Turf with a horse ridden by your son.
St Nicholas Abbey, Joey O'Brien for his father, Aidan O'Brien. History is made. St Nicholas Abbey wins.
He was a great horse. Joseph gave him an incredible ride. Joseph was very young. I think he was 17 or 18, and like he was riding those big horses, so it was tough on him. So he obviously had to grow up and accept a lot of responsibility very quick.
Joe's had a great time of it this year. A Classic winner, and now a Breeders' Cup winner. It's just unbelievable for us.
In a Breeders' Cup, you'll often run a couple in a race, and people should always know that they're all trying to win it, effectively. That's why you run 2. And I remember Highland Reel, didn't he beat Found, who was the art winner? It's, you know, terrific mare, Found.
Yes.
But Highland Reel won it. And so, you know, if you're watching an Aidan O'Brien team in a Breeders' Cup, everyone's trying to get the goal.
Highland Reel is a Breeders' Cup champion.
Those races are tough, hard to win, and we're always over the moon if any of them win. Obviously there's favourites that look more favoured on the day, but that's not always the case, and they're not always the ones that win.
And Highland Reel, of course, was a King George winner, Aidan, and we need to look back now at what happened in the King George at Ascot.
Here's Jan Bruegel making up the line for the 75th running of the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and they're off. Inside the final furlong, Kelpana from Calandigan. Calandigan is a half length, now it's just a neck, now it's a nose, and the French horse goes on, and Calandigan wins the King George.
I was confident today, but it's so hard to win these races, and you see we nearly got beaten again today, so I'm thrilled. Everybody would like to have him coming to their races, so we will see, discuss it with the Princess Zara and see how he comes out of this race, but today is a big win. The mechanic of this horse is just unbelievable to watch when he strides. He's a horse that can take me anywhere in the world and always run really strongly, so he's a champion. Del Mar, you need a lot of luck in the draw, and it's a race course you can be beaten even if you have the best horse, so we will see.
Breeders' Cup is Del Mar again. You know Del Mar well, you know the type of horse you need there, the agility they need. Do you already in the back of your mind have a rough idea what horses might be going to Del Mar? For instance, like Delacroix, is he in the back of your mind a Breeders' Cup turf horse?
It depends on what they'll do, whether he'd be that or whether he'd be a classic horse or whatever.
Hold on. You can't tease me like that, Aidan. Delacroix for the Breeders' Cup Classic? Are we City of Troy again?
Yeah, he's out with Tepin, you know, so she was a Bernstein American-bred mare, you know, so all those things will be spoken about, but at the end of the day, they will decide, and then whatever programme they want the horses to go, we will go with.
Of course, last year, Aidan, the whole of the Breeders' Cup was dominated by City of Troy.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. City of Troy broke near the back of the pack.
It didn't come off for him in the Classic, but what did you learn from that experience?
Maybe with the benefit of hindsight, I might have went back and said to Ryan, maybe when you come out, Ryan, just go forward and be a little bit more aggressive. But I didn't say that to Ryan, I said the other way to him.
Sierra Leone does it in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Why do you think Giants Causeway went so close?
Giants Causeway and Tisdale battling head-to-head. A heart-pounding, pulsating stretch drive, and Tisdale prevails.
He was very hardy horse. He had miler's pace. He was very determined. He had a lot of gate speed. He was very quick into his stride all the time, and he was very dour. He big high cruiser. He was an unusual, tough, hardy horse.
You've slightly dangled the Delacroix carrot. If you sent him, say, would you look at a prep race in America on dirt, or do you not think that that's necessary?
Well, it's not always easy for us to do that,
yeah,
because obviously
there's too many other options.
Yes, well, our programme runs late and you don't have time to do that. Obviously, if you're in America, it's different. Listen, it's probably always, it could never be a disadvantage, but I don't think it's a must-have. Like, obviously, we've never won the Classic and we've never done that, so maybe it was the wrong thing, but I think it's to have horse with tactical speed and to make the right decisions in what you want to do and have the kind of right plan, I think.
But she's just too good. Link Victoria, undefeated, and won the Breeders' Cup. Here's Henri Matisse to take the lead, and Henri Matisse wins.
When you had the double on the Friday, you became the joint winning most trainer at the Breeders' Cup. Obviously, Dean Wayne Lukas has sadly passed recently, and we're all going to miss him. You are very likely this year to become the winning most trainer at the Breeders' Cup. It's some achievement, and to have matched Dean Wayne Lukas, this legend in America. I know these things probably you don't sit up at night thinking about them, but it's something pretty special to have done.
Well, for us to go to the Breeders' Cup any year and have any winner is very special, and it's very tough to have a winner, believe me. So it happens annually. We don't take anything for granted. We appreciate it. We appreciate everyone that make it happen, and we really appreciate being part of it.
I'm sure Vincent O'Brien would have been someone you'd have looked at and had a lot of influence on you. In America, it is Lukas. Were you lucky enough to meet him a few times?
Yeah. Yes, he was a very special man, and he would always ring through the year and all the way, even up to he passed away, Lord have mercy on him. He would ring, and when we'd have good winners, he'd congratulate us. He was a massive help to us all the way back to Giants Causeway. When Giants Causeway went out there, we went and asked him, and he came up and he took the horse and he told us what to do, and he told us that he said he'd bring him out onto the track for us and do everything. And since that time, all the time, through all the years, he's always been such a help. You could pick the phone up anytime to him. I think he was probably a man that worked for the sport more so than for himself. He dreamed a lot, and that's probably why he won so many big races.
There are trainers who leave a mark on a season, and then there are those who leave a mark on history. 𝙍𝙖𝙙 Lukas didn't just change the game, he redefined it. He came from a small town in Wisconsin, a school teacher with a cowboy's grit and a visionary's mind. And what he built, what he became, is nothing short of legendary.
And it is going to be Spain to win it. 50-1.
Here's the wire, and Gulch has won it.
When the Breeders' Cup was born in 1984, few could imagine what it would become. But 𝙍𝙖𝙙 Lukas, he saw the future and made it his own.
Here's the wire. Twilight Bridge has won it. Wayne Lukas sweeps 1-2.
It seems to me this show always belongs to you.
He won his first Breeders' Cup race and then just kept winning.
And it is going to be life's magic. She's winning this one, pulling away from the field.
Again.
Saka, Wiesta, wire to wire.
And again.
Flanders, Serena's song. Flanders looks like she got her nostril on the wire first.
And again.
Kathleen has won it by 1 length.
20 Breeders' Cup victories. A record that speaks not just to dominance, but to longevity, to resilience, to excellence across decades. In a sport built on heart, he gave it his all. And on racing's biggest stage, no one ever shined brighter. The Breeders' Cup will always bear his signature. Bold, enduring, and impossible to forget.
Hightail Merit Man. I believe Hightail has shocked them all.
Some call the Breeders' Cup the championship of champions. But for decades, it's been the home of one constant champion, 𝙍𝙖𝙙 Lukas.
He was a man that left a lasting legacy and impression anywhere he went. Even here at Monmouth Park, where I am right now, he won the Haskell with Serena's song, the only female to do so 30 years ago. Now, speaking of the Haskell, it just wrapped up behind me. We just wrapped up our show. You can see the whole set getting ready there. Incredibly impressive performance by journalism.
They're off in the Naira Betts Haskell.
He was the short price favorite coming in, a lot of expectations, but somehow when you think he's not gonna get there, he does. You had an incredible battle between Gosker and Goal Oriented to the inside. Journalism is sitting third behind them, and with that huge stride, he's gobbling up ground.
Gosker, Goal Oriented inside, Stubborn. Journalism, here he comes with those big, robust strides. Journalism, he's the headliner today.
And secures himself a spot in this year's $7 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. At Del Mar, Lovesick Blues stole the spotlight at Del Mar, powering home to win the Grade 1 Bing Crosby and punch his ticket to the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
And Lovesick Blues and Giovanni Franco have won the Bing Crosby.
It was all about Deterministic, who surged late at Saratoga to capture the prestigious 4-star day of handicap, earning a spot in this year's Breeders' Cup Mile.
Another tremendous effort from Deterministic, who wins the FanDuel 4-star Dave.
In the highly anticipated Whitney Stakes, it was last year's Breeders' Cup Classic champion Sierra Leone who surged from off the pace underneath Flavien Prat to take the victory, securing himself a berth in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Sierra Leone has won the Whitney.
Out west in Del Mar, Seismic Beauty went straight to the lead and never looked back, taking the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch and securing her place in the Breeders' Cup Distaff.
But Seismic Beauty rumbles home in the Clement L. Hirsch.
In the field for the Longines Classic, Sierra Leone has thrown his hat back in the ring for this year's $7 million prize with a win in the Whitney. In the Longines turf, will the French taste their first success in the race since 2017 as Calandagan booked his spot after an impressive King George? The FanDuel Mars saw two new additions from either side of the pond, with Kirat shocking nearly everyone at Goodwood and Deterministic taking home the spoils stateside. The Longines Distaff field expands with a win for Seismic Beauty on the Del Mar Dirt. Will we see her repeating the feat come November? The Fillion Mare Turf saw one of Aidan's own added, with Whoa whipping up a frenzy in the wet at Goodwood. And finally, the sprint saw action from Del Mar in the Bing Crosby. You are my sunshine, as Lovesick Blues stamped his ticket to return in November. Challenge completed. Era 10, another 10 behind me. Funny enough, this one for me is the most important. This is Johannesburg. And Johannesburg, as we've mentioned already, set this all going. And you go back to that first win of Johannesburg in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and it really makes you also realise why winning the Breeders' Cup Classic is so important. Because Coolmore and Aidan started off winning a dirt race. I mean, if you put odds on which race would Aidan O'Brien win at the Breeders' Cup first, it would obviously be turf, wouldn't it? But he started with dirt. No wonder he wants to get that Breeders' Cup Classic. It's been an absolute privilege to come and film in this room with these trophies and to speak to the master of Ballydoyle, Aidan O'Brien. This was episode 2. And we've had an amazing time. But, you know, you're only as good as your last show. Episode 3 will come up at York, and you know York is fantastic. It's Jubbmont International time. And the Jubbmont International is often the best rated race on the planet each year. So we expect to see quite a few horses that will end up at the Breeders' Cup. Not only the Jubbmont International, we've got racing abroad and, of course, lots of stakes races stateside as well. So from me, and most importantly from Aidan, it's a goodbye for episode 2. I just hope you've enjoyed it all as much as I have.